Hey everybody, welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. Tonight is live number 23 in the Holiday How-To series, and this is project number 2 for Gingerbread Week. So this little guy is going to be the star of our show, and we're going to be making a wreath today using the Deco Mesh bubble method, which is super fast and super easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So I'm going to clear my path here and we're going to get started. So basically we're going to be using everything you see here and possibly a couple of other items for, I have some snowflakes and some other random things. So we'll decide what we're going to do to like dress it up. But anyway, I'm going to start by getting our sign ready so that it is completely dry by the time we get there. I have my glue gun ready to go so we can get started with that. Okay, move this. So I have a tower of ribbon over here. Let me show you quickly. So I have a bunch of ribbon because we're going to be putting some ribbon bundles throughout our wreath. I'm going to explain all of this as we go, but I just wanted to show you them because they're so cute. And like, look, a gingerbread man. I was so excited when I found this ribbon. I was like, oh my God, gingerbread wreath week, gingerbread week. Boop, boop. Okay. So we're going to start by adding some pipe cleaners to this guy in preparation to attaching him to the wreath. I'm not actually sure where we're going to position it on the wreath. Like, for example, it'd be nice to put it in the center. Like, the bubble method is very poofy. So there's going to be a lot of volume. So most likely putting it to the side is not going to happen. But either way, I'm just going to put 4 pieces of pipe cleaner and we'll find a way to attach it once we build out our base. But first I'm going to get it ready. Oh, I almost dropped my wreath frame. Okay, so first let me get this out of here. We don't need this string. So I'm just going to cut it. Save myself the torture of trying to fight it. Now, here's a tip from me to you when you are building yourself a wreath. If possible, use different colors of pipe cleaners to secure things because it'll make it easier when you're adjusting on the back of your wreath. If you don't like the position of something, it'll make it a lot easier to determine which ones you should be messing around with. So we're going to do green for our friend here. How's my battery? Oh boy. Okay. We got enough. So I'm going to do basically 2 up and down. Let's think about how it's going to attach to the wreath. Up and down for there makes sense because you're going to tie it. Okay, this way we need it like this because we're going to tie it over the sides of the wreath. So we need it horizontal, not vertical. All right, let's get started. I need some toothpicks. And I also have finger protectors. I highly recommend you pick up a couple if you don't have any. I got mine at Dollar Tree. Worth every penny and more. Okay, so I'm going to go right near the edge and put a generous amount of glue. And I'm going to aim for like the middle of my pipe cleaner and lay that right smack dab in the middle. And this is what I need the toothpicks for. So I'm going to push the pipe cleaner down into the puddle of glue because we want it to really stick in there. And once this dries completely, I'm going to come back and put another little dollop of glue on top of each of them because I really like to enclose my pipe cleaners in hot glue. And I don't know if it makes any difference, but it makes my heart feel good. So that's my way of doing it. All right, so that's about the middle. Mr. Gingerbread Man, I'm highly apologetic about where I'm putting this glue right now. Like, seriously, bro, I'm so sorry. Oh, boy. It's not attractive. This hot glue is very, very, very hot. So please be careful. If you think it's not a big deal, trust me, it is. And it'll burn for days. It'll hurt for days. If you get burned, like well and truly burned, it'll burn for days. No, it won't, but it'll hurt for days. So yes, definitely use finger protectors. I don't really need them for this exact thing. My table is acting a little bit a fool. So horizontal over here. It's about half. Now, luckily, these pipe cleaners are pretty level. They're not curled up, so I don't really have to fight it. I've had some pipe cleaners that are so curved that I had to put like art stones on either side to hold it down. I almost touched the glue blob because I wasn't looking. Mary, pay attention. That's how you get burned. All right. I don't think that's the middle. I think I actually went a little too far that way, but that's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to hold this down for a couple seconds until it starts to get a little tacky. And then I'm going to put this to the side and let it start drying a little bit. And then once it's fully dry, probably halfway through us making the base of the wreath, we will come back and put a little bit of glue right on top of there. Again, I don't know that that's necessary, but I've always done it and it's never failed me. So, you know. Okay, say goodbye to Mr. Gingerbread Man. He shall return probably in about 10 minutes. Okay, so let's get started on our base wreath. Do I need this glue gun right now? No, not right now. So I'm going to turn it off for a while. Okay. So we are going to start working on our bubble base. And what we need for that is our wreath frame. This is a 14-inch wreath frame that I got from Dollarama for $1.75. Fairly recently as well. So, you know. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Deco Mesh math. So today we're going to be using a 14-inch wire wreath frame. As I said, it has 6 sections all the way around. And for each section, we are going to have 8-inch bubbles, 4 per section. So they're going to be 8 inches in length and then bubble up. And we'll have 4 per each section. And we're going to be using 2 colors of Deco Mesh today. 2 rolls of green, 1 roll of white. And that's going to mean we're going to need a total of 6. We'll need 4 green and 2 white because this will only cover about half of my wreath. And we're going to get started. So what that's going to do, because we have these 2 colors, the one that you put on top is the one that is going to dominate the color scheme of your wreath. So you need to keep that in mind when you are setting up your Deco Mesh. So we're going to need a few things to do this. The first thing we're going to need is my pretty glitter ruler. I can't tell you how much I love this ruler. It's kind of pathetic. Okay. Oh, and before we go any further, let me tell you what size this is. These are 6-inch by 5 yards, each of these rolls. And I picked them up at Dollar Tree or Dollarama, either or, they both sell them. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we need to lay out our Deco Mesh so that we can get started making our bubbles. And the way you want to roll or unroll them from the roll is over. Think of a toilet paper roll. Do you roll over or do you roll under? In our house, we roll over the roll. And the reason why this is important is because of the way it curves. You see how that curves so nicely? It's going to help our bubbles be bubbly. So we're going to make sure to unroll over the roll. And I'm going to use my art stone. Oh, you know what I just realized? Green is going to dominate this, not white. I should have done it the opposite way. I should have done white and white with green in the middle. Okay, I just realized what I have to do. I want white to be my dominant color. So I'm actually going to go green on top of green and then white on top of that, which my brain doesn't want to believe, but it's going to be the right way to do it. So I'm going to unroll this one as well. Because what's going to happen is this white is what you're going to see the most of. And you can see I'm just stacking them directly on top of each other. Okay. So the white is what you're going to see the most of, but you can see that it takes on a lot of the green anyway. So green is going to still dominate. And then once we make our bubbles, the next step is going to be kind of fanning these three pieces out. So you're going to see the white in the middle with those two pieces of green on either side. And then we're going to put a bunch of ribbon bundles and some fun stuff on there. So it's going to be a really vibrant, big, poofy wreath. So don't stress about the colors if you're not loving. Like, that's something to always consider when you're making a bubble wreath, because it really does get covered quite a lot. So always remember your top color is when you're going to see the most of. Okay. So what we're going to need for this is a bunch of pipe cleaners. Where did I put them? Over here. For this part of our journey, we'll be using white pipe cleaners. The red is going to be for our bundles later. And I'm going to start by making my life a little bit easier. And I'm going to cut some of these in half right now, because we're going to use pipe cleaners to secure our Deco Mesh to the base. Okay. Now remember, there's going to be 4 bubbles per section, and they are going to be 8 inches in length. So let's start with our first one. Now that we have our Deco Mesh ready, we're going to start by looking for about 2 inches inside the edge of your Deco Mesh. And when you get to this spot, we're going to scrunch, because this is where we're going to attach it to our base. So we're just going to scrunch, gather that all together, just like that. Okay. Now that we have that, we're going to take it and we're going to attach it to this crossbar and these 2 inner rings. And we'll do that by sliding the pipe cleaner underneath and out the other side, just like that. And then we'll put our Deco Mesh in the middle and give this 2 or 3 good twists. Now, full disclosure, you're going to notice I over twist. I'll twist for 7 years, okay? So just accept it. It's going to happen. But you don't need to do that. 2 or 3 will do you well. So now we're going to unroll Deco Mesh. And this is basically the process we are going to be following for the remainder of our wreath making. We're going to use a ruler to measure out 8 inches from the point where we attached it to the wreath base. And also make note, these bubbles are going to be so poofy that you aren't going to see these little pieces of pipe cleaner that are sticking up. So there's no need to trim them. You can if you want to, but you really, really will not see them. And I like to leave them because sometimes you might want to attach something to it. You never know. Okay. So we want 8 inches right there. We're going to scrunch. And then making sure it puffs up, we're just going to scoot it over and do the same thing. Slide the pipe cleaner under the 2 inner rings. And then we are going to tighten the pipe cleaner around it. A few good twists. And there you go. We just made our first bubble. Pretty, right? Let me show you the side view so you can see how poofed out it is. It's quite, you got a lot of lift. So this end piece, I'm going to actually tuck it through and under. but I'm not concerned about it for right now. When we're done making the whole base, I will clean up the back a little bit, including that starting and finishing tail. But for right now, let's not worry about it. Let's get to bubbling. So this is basically what we're going to do for every single step. You're going to unroll a bit of Deco Mesh. We're going to get our ruler up against that place where we've attached it. Go to 8 inches. Scrunch. And then bring it over to the wreath base. Now, you don't need to use an art stone or anything to hold it down. I just do because sometimes the Deco Mesh like runs away and then I get annoyed. And I try not to get annoyed when I'm crafting because this is supposed to make me calm. Okay, there we go. So now you can do as many bubbles as you like in each section. It's up to you. I've tried 6, 5, and 4 bubbles to date, and my preference is 4. I feel like it gives you a little bit more room to put in your ribbon bundles and have them be more open as opposed to being like kind of smushed together, because the bubbles are taking up a lot of real estate. So I like having the opportunity to have a more open ribbon bundle instead. But you can totally do as many as you like, but keep in mind that if you do make more bubbles in each section, that also means you're probably going to go through more rolls of Deco Mesh than us today, making them 4 bubbles per section, right? So I told you in total, we're going to need 6 rolls of Deco Mesh for this, and we will. I've so far never had to do anything addition to that. But if I were to do 5 or 6, or like 6 or 7 or 8 bubbles, I am assuming I'll probably need more Deco Mesh for that. 'Tis my assumption. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, I like the white on top. You know what? I was a little worried that it was going to blend a little too much into the green, but it's nice. Because I do want the green. I just don't want it to be just all green. Okay, so this is the last one for this section. This is number 4. So I'm actually going to attach it to the crossbar like we did at the start. You don't need to. You can just keep attaching to the 2 inner rings. I just like attaching it to the crossbar because it's there. And it stops me from putting too many bubbles in a section because I'm like literally at the crossbar. I don't want to accidentally put 5 in one. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do, but it's just my preference not to, if I can avoid it. What do you think? Nice, right? So we just did one section. Super fast. Quick like a bunny. So this is considered a no-cut method for Deco Mesh, which if you've ever used Deco Mesh in the past, or you've seen any of my other projects where I use Deco Mesh, it is very much known for its flyaway pieces, the strings that come off of it. And that's just part of Deco Mesh's charm. Because if you want this vibrant, beautiful material, which I really enjoy working with Deco Mesh, you're going to have to deal with the negatives too, right? Positives and negatives. So the flyaways are a thing, but this method allows you to completely avoid that because you're not cutting it at all. We're literally just attaching it. And when we get to the end, we'll tuck it in. That, like, you're not going to cut much, if anything. Okay, so this is bubble number 1 for section 2. We just finished. You always want to make sure that you're putting them right on top of each other. Only because my theory is that you just want it to be as taut as possible so that one of them is not longer than the other, because then it'll make your bubble a little wonky. That's why I like using my Wicked stone. So let me tell you a little bit about this beautiful art stone that I made. It's so pretty because who doesn't like Wicked? If you don't like Wicked, I don't know what to say to you. You need to give your head a shake, perhaps. Just saying. Anyway, I have a video where I made this art stone, as well as an oval stone with Alpha Buzz cool hat, and a heart-shaped stone with Glenda's bubble crown. Super cute. I love them. I use them all the time as paperweights. So if you're interested in seeing that step-by-step tutorial, I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes long. And my friend Mary from the future, if you're watching the replay, is going to put that video up in the corner right there. And if you're here live, welcome. And feel free to check it out on my channel. You'll find that and many, many other dot painting projects for beginners. Okay, we're at 8 inches. So if you're just tuning in, we are working with the bubble method to make a beautiful base wreath for Gingerbread Week. And we're going to make a gingerbread man wreath. Okay, let me count because I lost track of how many bubbles I made for this section now. Okay, I think this is 3. Let me set this up first. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Great. So this is bubble number 4 for section number 2, which we are going to. Did I accidentally put? No, I didn't. Yay! I thought I put it on the crossbar. This one we're going to tie to the crossbar. So to make a bubble, again, if you're just joining, we're going to put the ruler right where we join to the base, and we want 8 inches. And you want to make sure that your Deco Mesh is laying flat and even, so that they're all the same size. Okay, so we want to get to the 8-inch mark. Then we're going to scrunch our Deco Mesh and gather it into a little piece. I'm going to take a piece of pipe cleaner, and we're going to slide it under these 2 rings, just like that, so that I thread it out the other side. And then, oh, actually, no, this one I want to do on the crossbar. So pardon me, we're going to do it across this crossbar. So tuck under and over so that these 2 are in the center. And now I'm going to put my bubble there. And tighten, Senor Peplinero. It's a Peplinero. It is tight. A couple of twists will do it, but I'm an over twister. We're all going to be okay with that. It's going to be fine. It's perfectly okay. Awesome. So we've got 2 sections done. We've got 6 in total. So after we're done this next section, we will be halfway through, and we'll be coming up on the ends of our Deco Mesh roll. And so we'll have to start another set, which is no biggie. And we're coming down to the last 3. I'm going to need to cut some more pipe cleaners. Let's just grab a few. I'm just going to cut them in half because we don't need long ones. And as you can see, as I mentioned to you earlier, you can't see them in between the bubbles, can you? So you don't need to worry about trimming them down. Once you've tied them on, you're good. But if it bugs you, trim it. Whatever blows your hair back, you do you. But I can't see it, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right, here we go. Another bubble. 8 inches gives you a really nice poofy bubble. Okay, so we're going to do 4 per section. Again, you can totally go up to like 6 bubbles, maybe even 8 if you really want them smushed up against each other. I've definitely done 5 and 6, and it's quite full, but I felt like it made it harder for me to add other accents and stuff. So I decided I like 4. It seems to be my lucky number when it comes to bubbles. All right. So we're going to slide that under the 2 in the middle and over the 1 on the inside. Dude, there you go. We got there. Now, you don't actually need to straddle both of these rings. You could probably tie it to one or the other and they should be fine. But I'm always a fan of more secure rather than less secure. So that's 2 bubbles for that section so far. We need 2 more. Hey, bro. Get it together. Don't roll. Come on. Sometimes they go through so easily, and other times they're just like, nah, I'm going to toy with you a little bit, Mary. Okay? Just a wee bit. Rude. You're very rude. All right, that's 3. So this one we're going to attach to the crossbar. Since I know you like to roll, stay there. All right. One of these is not sitting properly. Is it you? Okay. So 8 inches right there. Scrunch. Bubble. And then we're going to go against that crossbar again. So that we're right there. Beautiful. All right. So we have now completed half of the wreath base already. That was really fast. I really enjoy this method for that reason. And again, the no cutting of the Deco Mesh, I'm always a fan because you don't have to clean up as much. But that just goes so fast. It really does. We're probably going to get at least one more section out of this roll. I hope. I mean, it doesn't matter. I have another set of these in the wings because, like I said, you want to account for 6 rolls in total. All right. Which one is it that's being rowdy? Get it together. So I'm really looking, like every time I make a wreath, especially these bubble ones, when you're finished making the base, the colors that dominate are not going to be the colors that dominate the overall wreath. The ribbon bundles are going to dictate a lot of the color you see. So keep that in mind. Do you think I would remember to just, but no, I just keep forgetting. And it rolls back. Anyway, the color that you see when you're done your base wreath is not going to be the dominant color in the end. So keep that in mind when you're planning out how you want your wreath to look, when you're thinking about it in your mind, in your mind's eye. It's going to be more like flashes of color as opposed to the dominating color that you're going to see in your wreath. And I will circle back to that later when we're done. Oh, what did you do, bro? You turned on me. What the hell? All right, come on. Get on my team. Okay. Yeah, atta girl, Mary. I remember that time. Woo. So what is this, number 2 or 3 in this section? I really don't pay attention. This is number 3. Okay, so this one is going to be the one we attach to the crossbar. Wow, we're really going to get pretty far with this roll. I might only need to use a tiny bit of the next set of rolls. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to attach it to the crossbar here. Again, it's not, I really don't think it's necessary. I just like it. I like that it makes it easier to keep everything kind of symmetrical because you know for sure you've got 4 in each section. You didn't accidentally put 5 in one kind of thing. Hey, controlate. It's been you who's been the one that's been rowdy. I can tell. It's been like not, but bro, get it together. What a jerk. You're a jerk. Okay. Everything's fine. It's an inanimate object, right? Honestly, if I wouldn't get in trouble for it right now, I would totally give it the finger. All right, we are starting section 5 already. This really does go by fast. All right. We are finally at the end here. These are some massive staples. These are great tubes for crafting. If you ever want to make something out of like a tube, they're very dense. They're not flimsy like toilet paper rolls or like Christmas paper, gift wrapping. I'm just going to say random words and hopefully you'll understand what I mean. Oh my gosh, that was so difficult. It's okay. I'm not going to go all the way to the end because they're not all going to be exactly the same. This white Deco Mesh is really good. Sometimes you get lucky and you get these really, it's like the structure of them are a lot more firm. And there's other times where they're just so flimsy and floopy that you just really can't get the same, you know, movement that you would get from like a really nicely firm, like these one. All 3 of these are actually really nice. Yeah, see, these are all different lengths. They say it's 5 yards, but they lie. They be liars. It's 5 yards-ish. All right. This is actually going to be our last bubble from this roll, I think. We'll start a new set now. Hey, get out of here, staple. That's how you get hurt. All right. Okay, so this is bubble number 2. Can I get one more? Let's see. No, I'm not going to try. This one's really short on the bottom. So I'm just going to cut this here because we're going to end these rolls on this bubble. So I'm just going to leave myself about an inch or 2. To make it easier to tuck it through the frame. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. See you later. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. So I'm going to take these ends now and just tuck them through the wire frame like that so that they disappear. And then when we're done, we're going to take all of these, like the where we started and the ones I'm about to attach now, and we'll tidy up the back and make it look like decent. But I mean, if you're going to be looking at the back of wreaths, like calm yourself. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who make wreaths that they make a beautiful, like maybe they'll cover it with felt or they'll do something to make the back of their wreaths look like but I don't care, so I don't do that. All right, so we need another set of Deco Mesh. We're gonna need a few more pipe cleaners. I don't know how many, so let's just cut like, that's like 6. That should be enough. All right, we're ready. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Remember, you want to make sure that your Deco Mesh is rolling over the roll like that, not under the roll like this, because by having it over the roll, it naturally curls in that direction and it helps with your poofy bubbles. Okay. So 2 green and white on top. Again, because we want the whites to dominate. The color that you put on top is the one you're going to see the most, as you can see. Okay, beautiful. So what we want is to start about 2 inches in from the end here. We're going to go about here, and I'm just going to scrunch that up, gather it so that I can hold it in between my 2 fingers like so. And then we're going to go ahead and secure that down. Now, we are on bubble number 3, so I don't have to worry about a crossbar here. What I'm going to do is just slide my pipe cleaner underneath these 2 inner rings, and we'll put that Deco Mesh right in between, and then tie the pipe cleaner around it. Give it a few good twists, just like that. And we've now secured our new set of Deco Mesh to the base. I'm just going to take this tail and tuck it in between again, tuck it away so you can't see it. And we're going to push these close together and they will disappear. Voila. And now we'll unroll our Deco Mesh again. And we begin again. We are going to, there's really no need for me to fix that. Just for the record, I didn't need to clip that. It was just irking me. Like I said, we're going to clean that up later. Okay. So again, we want to go 8 inches from where we've secured it to the base of our wreath. So that's right there. And then we're going to scrunch. And I think this is bubble number 4. Am I wrong? Where's my last crossbar? Here. 1, 2, no, this is bubble number 3. How many times am I going to actually ask that question? I'm going to say at least 4 times. All right. Beautiful. We are almost done. We're in the home stretch over here. So we're going to unroll and stack our Deco Mesh again. Measure 8 inches from where we secured it. Give it a scrunch. And this is bubble number 4. So we are going to secure it to that crossbar right there. If you can see it, this crossbar. We're going to go under and out. So it's across. And we'll put that there. And then just tie the pipe cleaner around it. All right, so that's 4. And you can't even see where it ends and where it begins, can you? They're so poofy that you really can't. It's beautiful. So I'm actually going to be right on the money with my pipe cleaners. I'm impressed, Mary. High five. Okay, let's unroll because we are on our official last section. We just completed section 5, and we are now on section 6. Now, if you're not interested in using pipe cleaners for this, you could totally use zip ties. I alternate. Sometimes I use zip ties. Sometimes I use pipe cleaners. It just depends on my mood. They are both equally good. The only thing I will say is pipe cleaners are more forgiving. So if you tighten like a zip tie really, really tight in a spot you don't necessarily want it, you might have to cut it and get a new zip tie. But whereas with, you know, pipe cleaners, you can untwist it and go about your life. Okay, this is bubble number 2. It's getting challenging over here because it's getting tight and hard to see, but it's okay. We're going to be brave. Oh, come on, bro. Okay, that's 2. I'm scared. I gotta move these toothpicks. I feel I could see a disaster coming. Falling off the edge of my table and scattering all over the floor. I would have literally cried. Okay. So this is bubble number 3. Oh. The struggle is real. Okay. Okay, this is going to be our last bubble. And it will not be on the crossbar because we started on the crossbar. So this one's going to be floating. Okay. Okay, this is going to be annoying. That is one of the things that is annoying about Deco Mesh is it really clings to itself. So it can be a little frustrating when you're trying to move things around. But it's not a big deal. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, we're done. We are done ski. So let's go ahead and cut these off. Okay, I'm going to, again, give myself a couple of inches of Deco Mesh to make it easier to tuck it through. Last week I did a bonus live where we made some Deco Mesh angels, which I don't have any within arm's reach, or I would show you because they are the cutest. But I have a bin of Deco Mesh rolls that are like this from various projects, and I use it for my Deco Mesh angels. So if you watch that video, you'll see my bin of Deco Mesh, as I like to call it. Which Mary from the future is going to put in the corner up here. Our Deco Mesh angels. Actually, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be making a wreath out of Deco Mesh angels on Monday, December the 20th. What day is that? The 20th? Monday to December the 22nd at 7 p.m. Yeah, it's going to be a surprise pop-up Christmas wreath day. Ooh, we're going to use Deco Mesh angels. I'm very excited. I've never made a wreath out of Deco Mesh angels before. So it's going to be a first for me. Okay, so I'm tucking these ends in and through to the back, as you can see. Okay. They are now no longer sticking out. They're all in the back. So I'm going to show you what the back looks like now. So for the most part, very even. And then we've got the two ends where we started the rolls and where we ended. So now what I like to do, and you don't need to do this if you don't want to, but what I like to do is I gather them together with another pipe cleaner So I'm going to cut one more. I guess you don't really need to gather them together. It just feels more tidy to me. I'm going to tie them together. Nice and securely. And then I'm going to trim off as much of this tail as I can. Why am I using this pair of scissors? And the reason I'm trying to cut it down so tight is because, yeah, think of when you place a wreath on a door, you don't want it to stick out because the back is poofed out of Deco Mesh. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to make it as level as possible so it'll sit flat on the door. Much better. Much more tidy. Oh, I just realized I have to finish the sign. We'll do that now before we start fluffing out our bubbles. All right. Beautiful. I'm just tucking these pipe cleaners in a little bit. All right, so that is a very tidy back of wreath, if you ask me. I don't know if you want to ask me. All right. However, this is sticking out quite a lot. When I put it down, it's not flat. How about that? That's better. Okay, so now we're going to fluff out these bubbles. And I'm going to do that, but I'll probably lose track. So I'm going to use one of my finger protectors to indicate where I'm starting and where I'm going to continue. So this is going to be my first bubble here that I will start fluffing out. So here's what we want to do. We want to separate each layer of Deco Mesh so that you can see each one. And again, we want white in the middle. So we're just going to pull one green out on this side and the other green out on this side and just fluff that out. And that's all we're going to do all the way around this wreath. We're going to make sure that we pull those two green pieces out, which is a little challenging because you can't even tell which is which until you start pulling. And that's going to give us that little peak of green. And it'll really open up and fluff out the bubbles, which will, again, help us cover our base frame of our wreath so you can't see the wire. Didn't I say I was going to glue the sign before I fluffed the, like, really, Mary? Okay, I'm going to actually have to pause and do that because I really do want to... Oh, but we still have to do the ribbon bundles. It's okay. I'll do the sign in a minute. We'll finish fluffing first. I don't want to turn away from this because I'll lose track of where I am. So you see what I mean about the color that you lay on top dominates the base. And I knew that, which is why I put my white on the top, because that's what I wanted to have as the main color. Okay, we're almost done. All right. We only have a few left. This is stuck on something. Okay. There we go. This is our last one. All right. Look at that. Super poofy. Poofy and full and bubbly and beautiful. Pretty, right? Just wait until we fill it out. It's going to be even more beautiful. Now, I'm going to take this off to the side because we are going to work on finishing off Saying Your Sign. Oh, Shiza. You know what Mary didn't do? She didn't turn her glue gun back on. Okay, I'm going to turn that on and let it warm up again, which means we're going to pause on you. Oh, that is going to not be so good, Mary. We're going to move on to making our ribbon bundles, or at least prepping the ribbon for the ribbon bundles, because I forgot to turn my heat gun back on. So we're going to pivot and adjust and adapt, because that's what we do here at the IHC Craft Room, because Mary screws up a lot. So I learn how to pivot. It's not a big deal. All right, so the ribbon that we are going to be working with today, as I said earlier, is all of this. All of this. So we've got green velvet, red velvet, white sparkle, and gingerbread people. So do you need to have 4 different colors? Originally, I wasn't intending to do 4 colors. Frankly, I was going to do 3. And my decision is going to be based on our base wreath, okay? Here's what I mean. Let me put this aside. Like, come on, guys. Let's talk about the ribbon bundles we're going to be making today. So we're going to be using 3 different and complementary wire-edged ribbon. Obviously, there's 4 here. We'll talk about that in a second. We're going to need 4 pieces of ribbon per bundle and 6 ribbon bundles in total, because we're going to be putting 1 bundle per section. And we're going to be cutting all of our pieces of ribbon to 10 inches in length so that we get a really good poof coming out in between our bubbles. Now, if we wanted to use all 4 of these colors, we totally could. But I said 3 different and complementary because I was intending to not use the green and just use these 3, and I would double up on the gingerbread because I want that to be the most dominant thing. And I wanted to see what my base looked like first before I made my decision. And frankly, my decision is that I don't want to use this green because I don't want green to dominate everything. That was the whole point of waiting to see. So thank you, sir, but we're not going to be needing your services this evening. We're going to stick with these 3, and we're going to double up on the gingerbread guy. So let's move you out of the way. And I'm going to get my, oh, you know what? I should get my rotary cutter. That'd be easier to cut the ribbon with. So I bought this rotary cutter from Michaels. It's a great name brand, Fiskars. However, if you don't have that, you can totally get this one from the Dollar Tree or Dollarama. I'm not sure where I got it, but it was a dollar store. So they definitely have them available. And they're just little mini pizza cutters. Okay, so that's our ribbon bundle breakdown. We are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to cut. So remember, we want to cut to 10 inches. We need 6 bundles. So we're going to need 6 pieces of this red ribbon. Okay, you need to move. You're in my way. So 10 inches. All right, I want to go at the 11 mark. I always cut on the 1, so I'm going to go to 11. Are you open? Yeah. Beautiful. What is your problem? How you doing, glue gun? Are you getting toasty? So all of the ribbon I'm using today is from Costco Canada and Michaels Canada. But you can get ribbon from most dollar stores that are quite awesome. They have really upped their ribbon game in the last few years. Faux show. I've gotten some beautiful, beautiful ribbon from both Dollarama and Dollar Tree, and they're usually about $1.75. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5. We need one more. But if you are a Costco member and you can get yourself some ribbon, I highly recommend you check them out every Christmas, because I do. A roll this big was like $10. Guaranteed. It was 10 freaking bucks. It's so good. That's a lot of ribbon for $10. This one I got from Michaels recently. It's normally $32.99 Canadian, which I am very unwilling to spend, but they were having a ribbon sale, which is what I always wait for every Christmas, and I stocked up this year, as I always do. They had buy one, get 3 free. Like, get out of here. So that roll worked out to something like $8. Like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So there's a little tip from me to you. But really what we want is ribbon that has a wired edge. It's the wired edge that allows you to have a lot more control over what you're making. So if you're making a bow and you want your loops to be really full and poofy, wired ribbon is definitely the way to go. And in this case, because we are going to be making our ribbon bundles kind of poof out, we want them to flow out. The wire is going to really help that for sure. How are we doing? Okay, my glue gun is hot, so I'm going to pause this because we want the sign to be dry when it's time to put the wreath together. So the sooner we do that, the better. So come back, my friend. So as you can see, the glue has dried very, very well. I'm going to go ahead and add a nice dollop of glue on top of each of these to encase them. Again, my apologies, Gingerbread Man. What an unfortunate spot for a pipe cleaner. All right. These are all nicely encased and glue now. So I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side and let it dry some more while we continue our ribbon bundles. Very good. All right. So we are going to need the hot glue gun, but not quite yet. So it's going to eventually, my battery's going to die shortly. I'm going to grab another battery. Don't worry, I am prepared. Beautiful. Wonderbar. Okay. So we need 10 inches and we need 6 pieces of this. Man, I am really in love with this white glitter ribbon. This was my first year finding it. And I'm very pleased with it. I've noticed a lot of times, every time I'm looking for a specific thing, I end up with these sheer ones. You know, like gold ribbon, I find is really hard to find that is not sheer. like those see-through ribbon. Not a big fan of that. Mind you, you can see through this ribbon, but not on the level I'm talking about. Like we're talking completely sheer. But look at how beautiful. I don't even know if you can see how beautiful this glitter is. It's like iridescent. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. We're at 4. Every time. Literally every single time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Okay. Now, for the gingerbread ribbon, we are going to need 12 because we're going to put 2 in each bundle. Okay. Have a little sip of water. Remember to hydrate, friends. I don't think I'm going to need that anymore. I'm going to try to clean up a little bit. Doesn't take much for things to get out of control in the craft room if you're not careful. This is such a cute ribbon. And that's the other thing about these ribbons from Costco. Except for the sheer ones, they are really, really like structured nice. They have a really thick fabric consistency. The wire is not flimsy. They're just like a really nice quality ribbon. I'm a super big fan. But you just never know what you're going to get at Costco. They have like their one set of ribbon for the year every Christmas, and that's it. They're not bringing anything different in that year. She said bitterly. Okay, we're at 4. Okay, so that's 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. 6. Move you to the side. And we need another 6. Something that I've always really enjoyed about wreath making is that you're planning the different components as you get your materials, right? So the way this started for me was this ribbon. I got this ribbon from Costco this year. I thought it was so cute. And I was like, I'm going to somehow use this ribbon. And then one day we were at the dollar store and I saw the gingerbread man sign and I went, okay, boom, we're going to make ourselves a wreath out of that. It's calling to me. So now between the sign and the ribbon, it's like, okay, so now what else do I want? How do I want my what do I want my wreath to look like? So I decided I would use Deco Mesh and Bubble Method and these ribbons. And now we're going to probably use some ornaments. And I have like all these ideas in my head of what I think will look good together. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one more and we're done. Then it'll be time to fishtail or dovetail. I always intermingle those words. But sorry, gingerbread man, I totally just decapitated you. Yeah, all right. It'll be fine. Okay. Put you off to the side. So now I like to dovetail the ends of my ribbon. It is a personal preference. You don't need to do that. You could leave them exactly as they are. That would be totally fine. You could cut at an angle any which way you want. Up to you. It's a you call. I prefer a dovetail. So I'm going to do that to each of these one by one. Now you could totally do these grouped in 2 or 3s. I don't have the hand strength for that. And then my dovetails end up being not good V's. So let's talk about what a dovetail looks like and how to do it. What you're going to do is fold the ribbon against itself so that you're wire to wire and it's facing you. That fold is facing you. And now you're going to use your scissors to cut an angle. However deep or shallow you make it will determine how big your V is. So I'm going to cut all the way to the edge as sharply as possible. And then when you open it, you get that really pretty V. I'm going to do the same thing this way. Like I said, you could do 3 or 4 at a time. My hands can't handle it. Yeah, this is a really nice ribbon. It's nice and thick. It's got a lot of texture. The color's really vibrant as well. Especially for like a burlap style ribbon, it's really nice. I really do need to buy myself a good pair of scissors. Maybe I'll buy myself a nice pair for Christmas. Like, you know, like a pair of scissors for like, for fabric. Those would cut really, really well, I think. This pair is frustrating me. Why do you have to keep falling right there? It's because of where I'm cutting it. Like maybe cut it here. Yeah, see? Look at me using my noggin. So this is 2.5 inch ribbon. It's my preferred size. I don't like 1.5 inch. I find it a little too thin. And 3.5 inch makes me feel like it's gonna assault me because it's so big. So this is absolutely like my go-to size of ribbon. All right, we're almost done the gingerbread man. I don't know if I should try my other pair of scissors. I don't know if I like that better or not. We'll see. I'm going to do a couple more. That's why I never use this pair, because for some reason, right at the edge of the V, this one always kind of craps the bed. There. All right. You guys are ready to party? See, it's stuff like this in my, when it's not live, when I do videos that are edited, and I have many wreath making videos that are edited down to like 10 to 15 minutes. This is the stuff that we cut out, right? Like you watching me fishtail 75 pieces of ribbon. But this is actually part of the crafting process that I really enjoy, is this repetitive, rhythmic kind of stuff. It's really zen. I really do. There is a reason why I use the hashtag craft your calm on my channel, because I really do craft my calm. It's about trying to keep the blood pressure low and do something fun, something productive, something relaxing and calming, and keeps your mind occupied and allows you to be creative. And you can do it on a budget, right? Like this wreath, I mean, I would say from like including every single piece from start to finish, it can't be more than a $20 wreath. I don't think. I'd have to really like price it out, but I really don't think it would be more than 20 bucks, which is amazing. It's a great deal to get a handmade beautiful wreath for 20 bucks. Yeah, sure. I'll take it. And it's like a fun night. It's a fun project. All right. We are done the white. All right, we're almost done. We're in the home stretch. Dude. All right, that's one. We did it. We did it together, guys. All right, let me get these little pieces out of here. And we're going to start making our bundles. We're going to start making our bundles. Need a little piece of paper towel. Merci. Wonderful. All right. So I am thinking we're going to do gingerbread, white, gingerbread, red. Yeah, I like that. And that's what we're going to do. Now, we are going to be using red pipe cleaners for this, because you'll recall that we used white for the base of our wreath. We used green for our sign, and we're going to be using red for our ribbon bundles. It'll make it easier if we need to move anything around. So I'm just going to bend a pipe cleaner in the middle. I want to keep these as long as possible. We can always trim them down later. And as you saw, I did a little crisscross applesauce over here on all of these. I'm just going to kind of grab it and turn it into a scrunch right here. I'm going to grab it and scrunch it. And we're going to take that V and put it right where I've scrunched it. Okay. And now I want to see if I can make this as even as possible. So I'm going to fold it to make sure I'm at the halfway part. And I'd say that's pretty close. And now I'm going to just twist at the bottom here. Oh, a couple times. 1, 2. And there, we've made our first ribbon bundle. That's nice. That came out great. Beautiful. That's 1. So we need 6 in total, which is why we cut all of these. So we're going to do that again. Crisscross. So gingerbread first, then white. Then we're going to do gingerbread again, but like that. And then we're going to do red in the center. Okay. I'll take my pipe cleaner, bend it in the middle. And then I'm going to give myself a little bit of a pathway here. And we're going to scrunch. Okay. Take that pipe cleaner and thread it through. And we're going to bend the ribbon up to make sure we're close to halfway on all of these. For the most part, we are. And now I'm going to twist at the bottom here again, a couple times. 2 or 3 will do you well, but I'm an over twister. Let's not talk about it. And then we're just going to open and fluff and spread because we want to see all the things. And like realistically, if possible, let me see, this is not quite in the middle. You see how this red one is so wacky? I'm just going to pull it. Okay. Beautiful. All right. That's 2. I kind of want you here. I want to keep the red and white separated by a gingerbread man if possible so that they're not on top of each other. But let's be real. We've got 2 pieces of gingerbread ribbon here. It's going to happen. And it doesn't matter. No one's going to notice that. This is one of those moments where Mary's being ridiculous. So we're just going to move on. Move on. Okay, actually, something we haven't talked about, which we should, is good side, bad side of ribbon. So this is the good side. And that's the bad side. Very obvious for a pattern. But for something like the glitter, this one also has a good side, bad side. I'm not sure if you can see that with the lighting. And the felt one also has good side, bad side, where one is felt and one is more like a satin. So you always want to keep in mind where is your good side, because it's an important, you always want the good side facing out. So in this case with the bundle, that means face up, we're good to go. All right. You. Okay, I think this one will go like this. And how am I going to bend this? I always struggle with this part because I don't want it to be right. I want it to fan out really well in the end. And it's always a little bit of a struggle because to get your pipe cleaner around it, you have to make an obvious V. Like the scrunch is necessary. I don't want this to scrunch the wrong way. But like I said, you want to have a look and be in the middle. So this red ribbon is not in the middle. That's obvious to me. So before I tighten my pipe cleaner, I'm just going to pull it out a little bit. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to fold it up like a flower. So again, we can see that we're at the halfway point because they're all kind of even. It makes it easier to twist at the bottom as well. And we're going to open up and fan out our ribbon bundle. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time fanning things out. I get stuck in these things sometimes, and it's not necessary because we're gonna fluff it again when we put it on the wreath. So, okay. It's probably just easier to just do it an X. Let's see if that's easier. I would say that's halfway. Let's see. Let's fold up. Yep, that's beautiful. Beautiful. How's the sign doing? Okay, that's nice and dry. So we now have 4 bundles. We have 2 more to make. Okay. That looks like half to me. All right, we are in the home stretch. We have, this is our last bundle, and then we're going to start putting everything together, which is my favorite part. Okay. Yeah, the X is definitely the easiest way to crisscross on an X and then bundle it right in the middle. We'll bend the pipe cleaner and then have a look and make sure you feel like you're in the middle. And we're going to fold it up. Give it a twist. Beautiful. And just like that, we have our 6 bundles ready to go. A little time consuming, but super simple. That's generally how I roll. I don't do anything that's really hard. I just do things that are time consuming. So you have to have a little bit of patience. And you're going to invest a little bit of your time and sweat equity. Okay, again, you need to stop doing this, Mary, because you're going to do it when you put it on the wreath, okay? Can you just let it go? Okay, stop. Okay. All right. We've got our sign over here. Let's bring it over. We're going to get started putting everything together. So our sign is nice and dry. Get a sip of water. Very good. Okay. Here's our base wreath. So let's decide, where do we want the wreath, the sign to go? Do we want it in the center like this? Or maybe we're going to put it to one side? On the bottom? I'd say in the middle. That makes the most sense. And it'll be the easiest to deal with as well. Okay, so I'm going to I'd like to see where my wreath is positioned right now, meaning where is each section. So here's a crossbar. There's another one. Okay, so let's say that's the top. So that's section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because remember, we're going to be putting one of our ribbon bundles in each section. But I also want to make sure that we're not covering it with the gingerbread man. But he's a little guy, so I don't think that's going to get in the way at all. So should we put the sign first or the ribbon bundles first? What do you think? I'm thinking the ribbon bundles will be easier to put in if we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so like I said, this is the top. Now we're going to pretend this is the top of our wreath. So let's have a look back here. Remember, we've put one on each crossbar, and then we've got 3 in between. So we're going to have to position these bundles in between one of these. So I'm probably going to go, and you can't go in between the pipe cleaners because that's where a bubble is. So we're going to actually double up on one of these pieces of pipe cleaner and place the bundle there. So this is going to be the one that we're going to do it on here, I think. So I'm just going to thread my pipe cleaner through the rings. Okay. I'm going to pull it down. And I'm going to give it a couple of twists, and that's all, because we're going to come back to it after if we need to. If we need to readjust it, we'll have the room then, right? Okay, so that's section number 1. So here's the second section. And we're going to go for right in the middle. And we'll thread the pipe cleaner between the top 2 rows and then here between the inner 2 rows of rings. And I'm going to pull it fairly tight to the base, but with a little bit of give. And only a couple twists, like I said, because we can always adjust that later. And we are going to fix this afterwards, so I'm not going to stress on that. Let's just attach them all. So here's my next section. Okay, and we're going to go for this guy here, which is that. And we'll tuck this. And this one between the 2 inner rings. Flip it over. 1, 2. Now, if in the end we like where we've positioned everything, then afterwards I'll twist a little bit more and then cut them down. So, okay, there's our next section right here. So we're going to go for this one. Tuck one between the 2 inner rings and one between the 2 outer rings. I'm going to pull that in and give it a couple of quick twists. Okay, we're almost done. So here's another section right there. So the middle would be this one. And remember, there's not really going to be a middle because it's almost like there's 5. Is it 5? Yeah, it just doesn't really work out to be the level middle, but it's not a big deal. And here's the last one, which is going to be right in the middle of all this chaos. We're going to put it between these 2 ends. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. All right, there we go. Now we are going to do a little bit of fluffing. So this is 10 inches, the length of the ribbons, right? So if you feel like you want them to poke out more, then you could do 11 or 12 inches, which I've done 12 inches before, and it's a little much for my taste, but perhaps not for yours. So see what blows your hair back. I'm happy with 10. I feel like you get a really good view of the ribbon without it being like jumping off the wreath, you know? This one's annoying me a little bit. What's your problem? Okay. Beautiful. You can see I'm kind of like curling them over a little bit, fanning it out and curling it over and opening up the ribbon and kind of spreading them a bit so that you can see a little bit of each ribbon. Okay. Why are you all wrinkly, bro? Get it together. And then we fold the little tips over. Okay. That one was all turned around. All right. We are rocking and rolling over here. Beautiful. Wunderbar. Okay. All right. What do you think? I feel like we balanced them pretty well. Okay, let's see where we're going to put the sign now. Okay, do we want it so that we're between two bundles like that on the top? Because there's these two bundles, right? Or do we want to be on a bundle like that so that you've got the two? Well, that's a good question. I don't actually know what I want to do. And you have one coming out of his butt. Or rather, it's on his feet. I feel like this is probably better. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to go in the space in between. So this one in particular, whenever I put a sign on, I always try to do it very, very loosely. I'm not even going to flip this over yet because I just want to make sure I like the position, and then we can tighten it a little bit. So I'm just barely twisting it underneath. Oh, but you see, that's okay. I can go between it. So I'm actually putting these pipe cleaners in the inner ring of the wreath to make it easier to tie it down. As long as it's on one ring, that's all you really need. Okay. Do we like the position? Yes, I do. But this is, I'm seeing wreath base, which means I have to fix my bubbles. All right. So I am pleased with where this is positioned. So I'm going to actually go and flip this over, and we are going to tighten up all of our pipe cleaners, because then once we're done cleaning up the back, I'm not going to flip this over again. We're going to work completely on the front and make sure nothing gets smushed. So this is, so again, we're talking a little bit about pipe cleaners here, because this is like the number one thing I learned when I started doing wreaths. Having different colors attributed to different aspects of your wreath makes this so much easier. White is our Deco Mesh, red is our ribbon bundles, and green is the sign. It makes life so much easier. Okay, I don't actually want to push this down any further, so I'm not going to pull on my pipe cleaners for my sign. I'm just going to give them a few more twists because I had just barely twisted them when I attached it. Okay. I twisted the wrong way. Okay, so I'm going to start cutting. You don't need to do that. You can leave them. They're not that long. You can tuck them over or under to get them out of the way. But once we have a few good twists, you really don't need the extra real estate of more pipe cleaner. This isn't going to change much. Plus, it's a pipe cleaner. You can always tie another pipe cleaner to it if you cut it too tight or too short. It's not a big deal. I make a lot of mistakes when I'm crafting, like a lot. So I have really mastered fixing my mistakes. I'm going to do the same thing with the ribbon bundles. Give them a couple more twists and then cut them as well. Oh, look at this. A little bit of Deco Mesh got attitude-y and got stuck in my pipe cleaner. Huh. That is funny. Beautiful. The only stray pieces of Deco Mesh I'm seeing are actually on the bottom here, which is wonderful. Gotcha. Now it's going to be all smushed again, but that's okay. Now we are in the home stretch. It's time to start decorating. Beautiful. How's my battery doing? Good. All right. It is time to start adding some final touches. A sip of water. Okay, so we've got a few options available to us here. I've got a bunch of different sized ornaments. I've got some snowflakes, which I do think I want to use a few of those. And okay, so I've got red. I've got these bigger silver ones, which I feel are too big. I'm not feeling those, so get out of here, scram. Do I have any smaller than that? Not silver. I have some gold, but I don't really feel like gold. There's nothing really, there's no silver in here either, but still. I have little green. Run away. Little red one. Well, where did that go? Who knows? And I have some little silvers. So I'm thinking we're going to do some red. We're going to do some red glitter balls first, and then we'll decide. I think I might do a little bit of all of them, but I don't think this size. I'm kind of leaning into this size more. Yeah, I think so. What do we want? Do I have a glitter silver that's a little bit bigger or smaller? Or are they all that big? Oh, I have a couple that are smaller. I'm trying to decide if I want to put one inside. You know what I mean? But these are a little bit on the big side, whereas we could do like a smaller size. Yeah, definitely the smaller size. I don't know. I might like a couple of these big ones in here. So I'm going to leave it to the side and we'll decide afterwards. But let's basically, I'm just going to spread out a few things. And we're going to see what we like. I only have one glitter. I prefer to do all the same if possible. So we're just going to do these matte silver. You two, we'll save you for something else. Okay. Do a little bit of green. Preferably 6, because then we can have one per section, right? I don't have any. Oh, these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, goody, because I dropped one, so I thought it was gone. Oh, if you hit the floor, I swear I'm going to lose it. All right. Okay, and there's one more thing I want to do. I'm thinking I want to do a couple of candy canes on here, and they're so easy to make. So we're going to do that really quickly with a couple of pipe cleaners. Okay. So to make a candy cane, I'm just going to take 2 pipe cleaners. I'm going to stick my finger between both of them because I find that helps in the twist. And we're going to just start twist. Oh, dude. The way I'd be angry at you if you fell off my table right now. Okay, and we're just going to twist all the way down both of these pipe cleaners. All right. Okay, beautiful. So now what we're going to do is just curve this a little bit over my finger. just like that. And we're gonna cut it. Makes me a little candy cane. Cute, right? So cute. I also have a bag of cranberries and stuff, like some berries, which I actually didn't bring over here, but I have them nearby. I'll go grab them because that'd be nice to tuck in as well. Okay, we got 4 out of that. But I'm going to want to have 6. Again, 1 for each section. So we're going to make 1 more. One more. This hurts my hand. Carpal tunnel and twisting, not really the best of frenzies, but it's simple. This is an easy little embellishment to add. Easy to make. Beautiful. Trim that off now. Oh, geez. Okay, and just curve it over my finger a little bit. Actually, this one looks a little raggedy at the end. Let's give you a cut. Matt, why are you being so weird? One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. I'm going to put this off to the side in case I decide I want a few more. I'll save you for later. I'm going to go grab my cranberries real quick. Okay, so this is my bag of berries, as I like to call it. And I think I might put some actual cranberries in this one. Like that. Yeah. All right, we are ready to start adding our things, except I want to cut some of these ornaments first. I think I'm going to do a mixture of all of them and just tuck them everywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the neck off of all of these. I'm using wire cutters because they are super convenient, but you can totally use a pair of scissors instead if that's all you got. And the reason I'm cutting these necks off is because it'll make it easier to lay them flat when we're gluing them down. Not that you really need to worry about that too much with this type of wreath. And keep in mind, anytime you cut a neck off of an ornament, you run the risk of cracking the ornament in half down the seam. I've done that before, or having big holes break into them like that, but it's not a problem because we're going to use that part to glue down, so you won't see it. Ah, I broke it. See? Actually, it's staying together. I don't know. It's debatable. We'll put you off to the side. This one broke a bit too, but it stayed together. So we're going to pretend I didn't notice it. Nothing to see here, folks. Oh. Man, the way these things are ricocheting around, though. Never fails to disappoint. No, that's not the right word. I didn't want to say that. Not disappoint. It never disappoints. Okay. Let's get all this krapski together. Throw it out. Okay. It's time to start gluing, folks. So what we're going to do is lay things out until we're happy, and then we're going to glue them in place. So I know we've got a red, a green, and a silver for each section. So we have some options. We could just tuck them the way I'm doing here. What's wrong with this one? Look at that. Oh. It's okay, I'll hide it. Like that, where you can see them poke out. Or I could add some in the center. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Look at him just hiding there. Oh, I do have those bigger glitter balls that we could put in the middle if needed. I kind of feel like that takes away from it. I almost want to just leave the ribbon bundles without anything in the middle. A snowflake? That's kind of cute. What could we put there? What else? Or a cranberry, maybe? No, I kind of like the cranberries just like sticking out in like little spots. That's what I'm planning to do with them. I think actually a snowflake will look kind of cute there. So maybe we'll do that. Okay. So we'll tuck the balls around like I did here. And then we'll do snowflakes inside the ribbon bundles. And then maybe we'll just find a place to put a candy cane every which place. And the same with the cranberries. Okay, we have a plan. So I highly recommend using finger protectors for this part, because when you are gluing down onto a bubble wreath, you're not actually gluing directly to the wreath. You're actually kind of like gluing between the bubbles, which means you're going to be pushing the Deco Mesh together to hold it into place while the glue hardens. So keep that in mind. And I usually would do this. Let's see. Let's be prepared, because I really don't want to burn myself. I don't need all of these. Like this. And like that. So it's going to be this one. Okay. It's annoying. It's annoying. So we're going to do a little bit of glue because I want it to kind of sit towards the outside of the bubble. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each side and then squeeze it like that. So this is where you got to be careful, because the glue can move and burn you in no time. And there we go. We've got our 2 finger protectors in place. So this is going to take a little bit of patience, because you really do want to let the glue kind of take a little bit before you move on, which can be annoying. But then it will eventually stay. That's what's going to make it. Okay. We're not going to move it much, and it should be fine. Okay. Let's do this one now. So So same thing, we're going to do a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side. I'm going to do it as fast as possible so we don't get caught. And there we go. Hot glue actually does take pretty fast. So, I mean, I'm feeling impatient, but it really doesn't take long for it to set a bit. That doesn't mean you can't separate it now. If I were to pull these bubbles apart, this ball would come rolling out. But we just need it to stay enough so that we can move on to the next one. That's all. And then it'll dry up and it'll get harder and it'll be fine. That looks really cute. I'd actually like to repeat it exactly the same way. So green. Oh, hey, cranberries, chill. If I can repeat it exactly, it'd be nice. So green. One here. And then red down here. Yeah, that's nice. Oh. It's dropping. You're going too low for my taste. Get up there. Okay, good. Okay. That's good. Next. Gotta go as fast as possible so that the glue doesn't drop. Okay, that's good. And now red. This one's a bit wonky. Okay. Let's readjust our bubbles a little bit. This one's a little wonky. What is your problem? Okay. So we do green here, silver here, and red. Do I have enough for all of these? I don't know because I broke that green one. Might not. That's okay. We'll adapt. Oh, I have more green. I didn't even realize I had so many more green. No, you went too far. Come back. Come out. Okay. Oh, I got a little bit of glue on my Deco Mesh. That's unfortunate. That's okay. Okay, that'll stay enough. Again, as we move on, all the other ones will dry. Oh, I almost burned myself right then. We just want it enough so that it's not going to roll away. Okay, that's good. Green, silver, red. Green, silver, and red. Okay. Oh, Shiza, Shiza. That's okay. I cut it. Crisis averted. Except I'm not using my... Okay. I think that's fine. Oh, jeez, that scared me. Oh. Now, you could totally glue directly onto the bubble as well. Like, that's another option. But I kind of like the idea of it peeking out. Mi piace. Why am I holding this so weird? All right. Oh boy, did I mangle this ribbon bundle. All right. How many more do we have? 2 more sections. Such a pet peeve of mine is, you know, those little spider webs from glue guns? Oh my God, how they irk me. And I'm constantly covered in them when I use it, a glue gun. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this one's going to go over here. This is the one that's cracked. No, I'm going to throw it away. I have another one. I don't have to. And we need a red. I wonder if there's going to be enough room underneath him. I also hesitate to put too many balls right there. Oh boy. Okay. I think it needs a couple more seconds. I'm just being impatient. Yeah, because it would be here, the silver ball. Right, literally between his legs. That just seems wrong. Doesn't it? It is dirty. Unintentionally dirty. Let's see. I still have to get the full effect before making a decision. Shiza, that just flew across the room. So it would be one here, and one here. It's actually not bad. You can't really... If it was two balls over here, that would be a problem. But we'll tuck it in a little bit more than usual. I don't want to miss out on this one side. I got all the rest of it, and then to not do it down here just because I'm weird. It's stupid. Okay. All right. I'm barely waiting anymore. That's how over this I am. I hate the waiting. Let's tuck this in a little bit more so it's not quite sticking out of his legs. From his crotch. From his gingerbread crotch. Do them all at the same time so I can hold them all together. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come back here. All right, this is probably the most tedious part, what we're doing right now. Everything else should be like a glue on top kind of thing, where we're not going to have to wait like this to make sure it doesn't fall out and roll away. Let's start by putting snowflakes in the middle of our bundles again. And then the last thing we're going to do after we're done putting all the embellishments is we're going to... No, you need a little bit more time. I know, I'm sorry, I'm being impatient. Very last thing we'll do at the end is fluff out the ribbon a little bit more. But the ribbon's always going to end up in this, you know, you're just going to see the tips sticking out, which was the whole point of why we want to do that curved out kind of look. Okay, I should be all right now. All right, let's move on. Get these off my fingers because they're so annoying. They're super useful to not burn yourself, but boy, are they annoying. Okay, we're going to do a snowflake inside of each ribbon bundle. right over that little piece of pipe cleaner. See how full this is with just 4 bubbles in each section? Imagine if we had done 5 or 6. This is exactly what I meant about I want to have the extra room to put these things in, you know? I'm also going to put a few snowflakes like around because I want to actually like really see them because they're cute. Hey. This one is right under his chapeau. You're barely going to see it, but that's okay. Sometimes just a little glimpse is all you need. Last one. Now's not the time for this. We're going to do this again later. Okay. All right. We've done all of the snowflakes inside the bundles. So now you can't see the pipe cleaners anymore. Let's do, should we do candy canes first or cranberries? I might not even do that many, just like a few. Should we put one right by his legs? It's like I'm 5 years old. It's like I can't control myself today. Let's not put one there. But like up here. Oh. Maybe right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this one's. Should I put this way or that way? Maybe this way. What do you think? I kind of still feel like I want one down here. Maybe we'll put it a little lower. I don't know. Let's not stress about it. We'll do these ones. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on the curve here and then rest it on a bubble. Beautiful. Okay, good. That's good. I think we're going to hold this guy in reserve just in case. And you too. Let's scoot you guys out of the way. I do want to put some of these cranberries, and then we'll come back for the snowflakes. Let's get these things out of the way. I think, should I cut this wire off, do you think? It might actually be better if I bend it and use it to add the glue, and then I can tuck it in. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, where are we going to put these? Just in random spots? Let's see. Oh, that one came right off. Both of them did. Oi. Oi. So much for my plan. Okay. I kind of feel like they're competing with the red ornaments a little bit. It's almost... You put 3 of them together? Hold on. Let's try a bundle. Because if I don't like a bundle, then I'm going to abandon this. And we're going to just do snowflakes. Okay, here's 3. God, the strings that this thing is on is so gross. It's making my hand dirty. Ew. Okay. Do we like it? I kind of like it. Yeah, the trio is good for me. Not the singles. A threesome or nothing. Okay, so let's tuck them for now. Ew, for real though, gross. And then once we are decided, I will glue them in. Okay. That's good. Where else? Up here. Oh, Shiza. Maybe like, I don't want to put it right in the same places I'm already putting things. One, two, three. Oh, come back here. What is this, rust? I don't even know. It's so gross. Not a fan. Such a princess. Okay, let's put these right between his legs. Oh boy. What about if we put it near his ear over here? Okay, and this one can stay where it is. That one can stay where it is. What do we think? Or should I put one here, but I'll just tuck it under so not near his crotch to kind of level everything out. Had I known this was going to be so gross, I would have put on some rubber gloves. Now I'm going to use baby wipes. I don't even have anything near me. Do I? You have a Lysol wipe. Okay, so this one, I'm going to tuck where? Here? It's far enough away that it's not suggestive, right? Yeah, I think that's fine where it is. Okay, let's glue these guys into place. You. Yuck. Okay. I'll start with you. So we're in the same predicament here where I'm going to have to hold the bubbles. I think I might have picked a bad spot for this one. Let's see if that can stay. I'm not going to touch you. Hopefully that'll keep you from rolling away. Oh, something just fell. Under. Oh, I missed. I need another finger protector. Hi, Tony. Thanks. I think it looks very cute too. Thanks for the comment. He's a cute little gingerbread man, isn't he? Okay. We got a couple left. Is that a good spot for it? Yeah, I think so. Debating if I want to put it there or here. It might not be as visible there. Let's put it back where we had it. Oh, that was silly, Mary. All right, so we've done ornaments, like mini ornaments. We've done cranberries. We've done some candy canes. And now we're going to see about a couple more snowflakes. And I'm going to consider this a done deal. Although we will refluff all the things. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm being impatient. I know. Okay. That should do okay. Let's get these out of here real quick. And then we will get our snowflakes done. What a mess these made. These cranberries are very messy. No mi piace. All right. Don't need you anymore. Okay, so let's see. Where do we want to put some snowflakes? Where do we have room for snowflakes? You know what? I got to stand up and see. Could do one there. Could do one up here. Could do one over here. There's a lot in his legs, though. Let's maybe not do one there. Maybe right here? No, out here. Do I want to do any more? I have a couple more. I could do one up here. And that's good. I feel like there's so much happening right here. I don't want to put one there. Maybe over here. Okay, let's do that. And then we're just going to tie a little bit of jute string. I really struggle with that word. Jute string to the top of this wreath. And we will be able to hang it up. What do you think? Oh. All right. We've got one last step, and then we're done. We need to put some jute cord. I don't need my glue gun anymore. Toodaloo. Thank you for all your assistance. A pleasure. So, what I'm going to do I'm hoping that everything is like as adhered as it's going to get, because I'm going to flip this over and I'm hoping not to trigger any mutiny, but I'm going to cut myself a piece of jute cord. Now, you don't really need a long piece, but I prefer to cut them a little bit too long and adjust accordingly than to have it too short. So what I'm going to do is create a slip knot by folding these over to each other. I mean, I think this is called a slip knot. I'm not actually sure. But you go end to end, and then we're going to wrap it around your finger like that. Okay. And then pull it off my finger and tuck these ends through that loop, just like that. Tuck them through and pull it. And that is, I call that a slip knot. I'm not sure what it's called. Now, what I'm going to do, please don't fall on anybody, is I am going to loop it through this top loop here by just sliding it on and then tucking through and up. And now we've got it hooked, and it can still move around a bit, which is nice because it will help when you go to hang it. You can adjust it from a weight perspective. Well, there you have it, guys. We just made this beautiful gingerbread man full bubble Deco Mesh wreath. What do you think? I think it came out great. I'm super thrilled with the end result. Now, of course, as with bows and anything else, you can go ahead and adjust and move all of your bundles and ribbons and make sure everything is very visible. I recommend doing that right after you hang it. Hang it on your door and then take a second or two to make sure all of your ribbon is showing well and everything is like really visible, because you can definitely waste a lot of time on that when it's not necessary. Better when you have it up on the wall or on the door. But there you go. I would say this probably cost, I'm not sure, I'd have to do the calculation, but definitely under 20 bucks in materials. This took us about 2.5 hours from start to finish. And I really enjoyed making this with you. I hope you enjoyed it as well. This is project number 2 for Gingerbread Week. So project number 3 is going to be on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be making some 15-ounce gingerbread themed candles, soy candles, and they're going to be delicious. I'm so excited to make them. So don't miss out on that, Saturday at 4 p.m. And then on Monday, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing a bonus live on Monday, December 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a surprise Christmas wreath, which I already ruined the surprise. It's going to be Deco Mesh Angels, which I'm super excited about. Never done that before. So join me then if you're interested in making another wreath with me. And also check out my channel. I have a lot of beginner-friendly wreath videos, from Deco Mesh to burlap to, oh my God, ribbon. And there's so many different types of wreaths that I've made since I started my YouTube channel. And I'm going to be making so many more. So if you're interested in learning more about wreath making, you can check out one of those videos, or join me here every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to keep making beautiful wreaths. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me tonight. I really enjoyed making this with you. So don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!